and that just shows you how epidemic the numbers are. So that's the way moving forward. Become aware, go online, Autism Speaks, Autism Anything, and just learn about what it is.
As a parent, any parent who isn't sure about joining the REACH program, I would say, hey, don't wait a day or a minute too late, because it will help you, it will be beneficial to you and the progress of your child.
Moving forward, the Bahamas, we can set an example. Where as a people, we can become sensitive to parents with special needs children. Understand if it's not just autistic, crippled, deaf, blind, there's a huge need to try to accommodate and to try to understand and to try to help. The disabled in this country, they're fighting a lot of discrimination as far as getting jobs, as far as having a proper parking spot to park in, as far as having access to buildings, as far as having to, just not being treated the way they need to be. So the way moving forward is educate, teachers, parents, caregivers, educate the public as a whole, and just try to make it work.
Government House. I'm Regis Cartwright. This is ZNS. It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. From Studio A. It all starts right now.
Hello and welcome everyone. You're tuned into the ultimate destination for all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Jiminita Swain and you're watching What's Trending, the show where we bring you the latest trends, hottest news, and insider tips on living your best life. Whether you're here for the fashion, food, fitness, or the latest buzz from social media, we've got you covered. Let's dive in. The World Health Organization regrets the announcement that the United States of America intends to withdraw from the organization. On Monday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order withdrawing the U.S. from the WHO. In the order, Trump accused the WHO of, quote, mishandling the COVID-19 pandemic, not adopting, quote, urgently needed reforms, and being politically influenced by other member states. Some public health officials say the decision will put the nation at a disadvantage. For its part, officials from the WHO say they hope the United States will reconsider, and it looks forward to engaging in constructive dialogue to maintain the partnership between the U.S. and WHO for the benefit and health of well-being of millions of people around the globe. Also, this once-in-a-lifetime snowstorm that struck from Texas to Florida this week, forcing the closure of airports and crippling roadways. Just yesterday, more than 2,000 flights were canceled and more than 1,700 today. Sadly, many fatalities have been recorded as well due to car crashes and hypothermia. The severe winter weather has led DeKalb County officials in the Atlanta area to declare a state of emergency today, urging all residents to shelter in place. Lastly, earlier this week in our What's the Buzz segment, we spoke about a popular restaurant, bar, and lounge called The Bay, which was completely gutted by a fire early Sunday morning. Good news, though, they are in the rebuilding phase and are having an event this coming weekend. We here at What's Trending are truly happy to hear this and wish all parties involved continued success. As for what's coming up in today's show, we are keeping you committed to sticking to those New Year's resolutions. Also in studio, we have a guest who assists in shaping the next generation, and hear from a young Bahamian who recently signed to the Texas Rangers. That and so much more just up after the break.
Bahamas Business Outlook, Director General of the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Latia Duncombe, highlighted the path forward for the tourism sector with a focus on sustainability and inclusion.
I'm very happy and excited to be here at Bahamas Business Outlook. It's always the environment where all of the industry leaders from the various segments of our country are able to gather in one place, sharing insights, information, looking at what's to come, and then paving the way for all of the other outlooks throughout the islands. And this year, the theme, sustainability and inclusion, for us is just so very important, because when we look at the Bahamas, our 16 islands, sustainability is at the core of everything that we do, and we always promote the Bahamas as a multi-destination with all of our islands. The panel I'm on today is focusing on luxury tourism, sustainable and inclusive, and I'm extremely excited about it. The Bahamas is indeed a luxury destination. At the Ministry of Tourism, we have so many departments that we use to make sure we promote what we have to offer. We deliver the experience. We curate the itineraries for these same visitors to come and enjoy. The key thing is a blend of sustainability, cultural inclusion, personalization, and all of it is powered through technology, looking at the opportunities that exist from an AI perspective, understanding and predicting what our visitors want, leveraging technology to deliver so much in a limited amount of time across all 16 islands. I'm really excited to be here today.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Thanks for staying with us. Working with young people and helping to shape the lives of the next generation can be both rewarding and challenging. Common concerns are communication barriers, building trust, and enhancing emotional development. Joining us to discuss her work with young people over the years is Dr. Ann Higgins, who is active in a range of cultural and social activities in the country. Welcome to What's Trending, Dr. Higgins. And obviously, before we get into all of that, congratulations for all of your efforts, dedication, and commitment to what you've been doing over the years.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So tell us how your work with young people started.
Well, it started, can you imagine, over 40 years ago.
Wow.
And 40 years ago, as a matter of fact, this month will make 40 years when I gave my life to the Lord. And I remember just going before the Lord and said, what do I do now? Because I was engaged in the casino as a topless lead dancer, and I was like basically the star of the show. So how do you go from giving your life to the Lord, walking away now from your livelihood, your income, to what do I do now? And I remember starting to teach exercise at a hotel. It was the Cable Beach Hotel at the time. And after I done teach an hour of exercise, I would just go at the beach and just, you know, just sit there trying to figure out what am I gonna do. I walked away from my job. I just felt like, okay, I feel clothed now instead of naked, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to go back to where I was. Lord, what am I going to do? And I used to write on a piece of paper or a leaf, whatever I pick up on the beach. I would just have it and always have like a pen or something and write down. He says, I want you to teach the children. Teach them how to dance. Teach them what I'm teaching you, how to worship me through the dance. And I was like, Lord, how do I do this? And that's how it really began.
So your dance ministry has evolved over the years. Talk to us about the impact of this.
The dance ministry evolved because what happened was I started to go into the inner city. I saw kids like I saw myself, you know, not wanting them to go down the road I went. I was an entertainer. And being an entertainer, you out there, that fast life, the disco in the night, and, you know, up all night, and then sleep in the morning, I guess. Then you go back that evening to the show, 2 shows a night. And as a young girl, even in high school, I was the one that would take the first puff off the joint, and, you know, if somebody said, hey, take a puff, you know, the marijuana, I'm like, bold, okay, give it to me, she don't want it, you know. I was always the one out there, and that led to so many things, and I realized that now that the road that I came, I see myself in these young kids, and like, I watched, especially in the urban area, that everything was available, the drugs, people on the corner selling marijuana, and it was like the alcohol. When you remember, we had the phone cards. Listen, they'd give you anything, and you know what I mean, anything in the back of the building, a guy for a phone card, because they want to buy either a weave or something. So I was like, God, how can I help them? And I realized that inviting them to church, no, that's not going to happen. You can forget it. Because when they were inviting me to church off the street, I was like, I would dug them, you know. So I realized, well, maybe the art form, dance, and it just keep on going.
And now, so many years later, you've had the opportunity to promote these young people, not only locally, but abroad as well. So talk to us about some of those international experiences that you were able to expose these young people to.
Well, first of all, I would say, how many of you ever been to Cable Beach? We're going to take you on a tour. We're going to go field trip. And I said, you know what? Some of these kids never even went to the Family Islands. And I started doing cultural exchanges. And one day, we had a group of Chinese came to the Bahamas, and I was working at Youth Sports and Culture also at the time. And I said, well, when they come, I took them all around town, and they were so grateful, especially the leader. He said, when I go back home to China, I will let them know how you did this for me. And I got an invitation. I mean, as sure as he had promised, I got an invitation, and it was a trip to the Meet in Beijing Festival. That was the beginning. I was like, oh my God. I had like about 20 or 30 kids, and that was the beginning of exchanges. That went on for about 15 years, taking different children, of
So obviously,
course.
how would you describe these cultural benefits or promotions for the Bahamas?
Oh my goodness, can you imagine living, let's say, in Beantown or just somewhere in the Grove, and you have never seen a city, the world? Oh my goodness, I remember one of our kids, when they went to the buffet, she had a plate just full of bacon only. She ate until she vomited. I was like, oh no, it's lots more food. And then they drove around just looking around and looking, never seen a city. Come on, never even been to Cat Island or Eleuthera, but now you're in China.
So tell us more about the role for that and those benefits, because obviously dance has been a key facet of your life.
Yes. After we had, well, as you know, being able to pioneer dance in the country, after I gave my life to the Lord, this liturgical dance, after I preach about it, say it was not of God, then all of a sudden it was in every church and then every school. And I started teaching actually in the schools, no charge. They just asked permission, and they said, okay. So that's how I began to infiltrate with the liturgical dance. And then we started to have ASAP, but under Dr. Miles Monroe. And one year we went, we had a group come from Paris, and they continued to come to ASAP Paris. And then they said, can you come to Paris and have this ASAP? And it was there I met the president of the World Dance Council. And he was like, we've never seen this type of dancing. And so he said, I want you, can we do this in your country so we can know more about the spirituality in dance, is what they called it.
So you've been really, really busy. So what's next for you?
Well, actually, I'm getting ready to celebrate 40 years of liturgical dance. So if anyone has ever danced, whether it was just in their church or was a part of the move of the liturgical dance 40 years ago, we're going to all come together, and we're going to start advertising and having people just come together so that we can celebrate. April 29th is when we're going to do it, on International Dance Day. And we're just going to recap from 1985 to 2025 and just showcase and even thank the pastors and leaders that have been a part of developing that, and of course the children, because I will never leave the children behind. I was once one of those children, a child like one of those children that was not left behind.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate you, and thanks again for appearing on What's Trending with us today. And we wish you so much success in your upcoming initiatives. Continue to do the great work that you're
Thank you for having me, and I really appreciate it.
Well, there is more to come. Stay with us.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation?
You mean the Ministry of Tourism?
No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps to develop and grow Bahamian businesses in the tourism industry. You heard what they say, Mike?
Well, yeah.
Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things they do?
What does do?
Hey, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Diet-friendly special.
Some of you may have completely considered bailing on those New Year's resolutions, but we have some tips to keep you committed. First of all, make a realistic plan. It's easy to create impossibly large goals without the intention to follow through with them, but breaking the goals down into smaller, more manageable parts can make it more accessible. Also, look at finding an accountability partner. Simply telling one person about a goal and a time frame can become a big motivator. Additionally, keep it simple. Identifying 1 or 2 attainable goals can increase the likelihood of sticking with them. Act like someone who has already met the goal. Having the confidence to fake it till you make it can make you feel more comfortable about trying something new. It's also not a bad idea to add something instead of taking something away. Just as the +1 study suggests, positive approach-oriented goals tend to work better than negative avoidance-oriented ones. And while we're well past January 1st, you can continue to adjust those goals as necessary due to the research you've put in to keep that momentum going. Well, I hope these tips help. Stay tuned. There is more after the break.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Hi, I'm Brent Burrows, Vice President of Retail and Sales at CBS Bahamas and the CBS Pro Store. Not only do we guarantee the best prices on all your favorite building materials, but we're proud to offer the best delivery program in all of Nassau. Whether you buy one box of screws or a truckload of plywood, island-wide delivery is just $5. And for our Family Island customers, we're proud to offer complimentary drop-off to the mailboat of your choice. Visit us today at the CBS Pro Store on Robinson Road and check out our website to set up your next delivery.
There is no doubt that Bahamians are talented people, and with this in mind, we seek to highlight these persons in our new segment called Bahamian Footprints. In our first feature, we highlight a young athlete who is hoping to make his mark in the Major League Baseball world. Take a look.
Well, I'm very excited, but I wasn't going to be here without God. That's the first and foremost who I got to give my thanks to. But I'm very excited to start this new career and just have fun.
17-year-old Dave nearly reacting to being recently signed to the Texas Rangers. But how did this love of baseball develop?
My mom took me at the age of 4 to Freedom Farm Field, and ever since, it was like I never wanted to leave the field. Growing up on the field, I wasn't always the biggest guy, so being in the gym room was like the main goal, and working hard and getting bigger and stronger. I love to lead and I love to set the tone. I feel like I bring a lot of energy when it comes to playing on the field. So that's where I really excel and shine the most on shortstop.
Working hard to get to the major leagues won't be a walk in the park, but he's committed to doing the work.
It was difficult, but it was something I was manifesting and praying a lot to God about. I would just tell them, to keep their faith in God. Also, on top of that, I just tell them to never give up. Never give up. Like, even if you don't understand, like, if it's the same passion for you, still keep going. Keep going. I had my speech to say upstairs, and, I was practicing that last night, this morning, when I was in the barber chair. So that speech had me thinking a lot and had me very nervous, but at the same time, I was excited to sign those papers and start this career. I just want to have fun, I want to win a few championships with my team and just set a good example for the upcoming guys.
Now that the deal is inked, Neely says the real work will start.
I would be going to the Dominican Republic to play at the Texas Rangers complex. Well, not just play, but train, playing games, and just have fun, create a bond with my coaches, create a bond with my teammates. I'm super excited.
For Dave's mom, who is not ready to part with her son as he continues his training, she is proud of this accomplishment.
Oh, it's an amazing feeling. I think it's every mom's dream to see their kids, achieve their dreams. So it's a feeling that you just can't explain it. Firstly, Freedom Farm is a great organization. Secondly, you would know your children or your child is athletic because they're always running up and down, jumping out of the bed, doing things like this. So the first thought was, I need to find something for this boy to do. After that, I heard about the organization from a colleague of mine. And of course, Freedom Farm is known for being a winning organization. I like to affiliate myself with winning stuff. So definitely after going there and seeing the type of organization it was, and also seeing that it kept Dave grounded, it created discipline, structure, and of course, that winning mindset that I'm about. So that's what sort of prompts me to put him in that position.
Dave's aunt Samantha equally thrilled.
My sister and I, we plan this day, every game, every travel, every hurdle we face. We say, you know what, we can't give up now. We done reached this far. Stay humble, stay hungry, and stay focused.
As for Ramona's final words of advice,
if your child has a dream, don't give up. Don't say, oh, that don't make no sense. Oh, you're not going to sign. Oh, this. You have to believe in them. And you have to give them that continued support. Everybody's not going to be a doctor. Everybody's not going to be a lawyer. But that child knows what they're passionate about. And if you continue to support them in every aspect, mind, body, and spiritually, because you can need a lot of God, patience and love. And you just have to, if that is their dream and you're committed, just know once you make this commitment, it's not just on the child, it's on you as the parent. you have to be committed because it's going to be a lot of work on the parent. So I would just say to them, support your child. Know that if you're coming into this agreement together, you have to give him 100%. You have to give the organization that he's a part of 100%. Listen to what they're telling you. Trust the process. I can tell you, I trust the process, and I thank Max D Academy for believing in my son and Coach Greg Burrows for working with him and telling me from the beginning, Mona, trust the process. And I'll always say this to everybody, talent beats hard work in a heartbeat. So if your child is talented and have hard work ethic, that's a win there.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation?
You mean the Ministry of Tourism?
No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps develop and grow behemoth businesses in the tourism industry. You heard what they say, boy?
Oh, yeah.
Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying do?
What does do?
Hey, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Diet-friendly special.
Thursday's show, we are still holding on to these New Year's resolutions, and we're taking you with us. Well, that's all the time we have for today. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their insights and stories with us. As always, we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more exciting guests, thought-provoking conversations, and a lot of laughs only on the ZNS network. See you later.
May the works that I have done speak for me. My lifelong desire has always been to invest in youth and our senior citizens whose shoulders we stand. The inspiration and empowerment of people fosters innovation, creativity, and future leadership. All great leaders know it is not only important to lead, but to encourage the next generations of leaders. My life has been based on my service to others and my community, whether in local government, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Reserves, and my commitment to education for over 20 years. As the City of Freeport Council's Chief Counselor, I led a team of counselors, and together we embarked on several initiatives that brought relief, assistance, and involvement to the residents of Freeport. We built and refurbished community parks, gave our residents access to beach through our road improvement projects. We distributed backyard farming kits, assisted with feeding programs, brought sports programs to communities, circulated solar light bulbs, implemented summer programs for kids, and of course, the jewel of our work was the formation of the island's first emergency operations center for natural disaster. We tackled some of the most challenging projects and ventured where no man has dared to go. Our vision, people-centric. Our mantra, as the founder of Boy Scout, Sir Robert Baden Powell said best, try to leave this world a little better than we found it. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for having been given the opportunity to serve you, the people of Central Grand Bahama, within the city of Freeport, and by extension, Grand Bahama, to our many partners who believed in our community work and supported us whenever we called. I say thank you. To my team, who not only saw the vision, but was a driving force in our success as a productive local government council. We did not always agree, but we were guided by standards and principles, but ensured the concerns of the people were heard and honored. I say to all new councilors who will lead this dynamic group in the city of Freeport, just remember why you were elected, and the people will remember you. I am committed to ensuring a smooth transition to my successor. To the residents of the city of Freeport, I know you and you know me. I am always available to you. The feats, the triumphs, and accomplishments, none of these would have been possible without God at the center. All that I am, all that I ever hope to be, I owe it all to our Lord Jesus Christ. I am Frazette Isadora Ballard Gibson, Chief Counselor for the City of Freeport, Board Member for the Commonwealth Local Government Forum, and Chairperson for Women in Local Government Network for all Commonwealth countries. My work here is done. I end where I began. May the work that I have done speak for me. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
At Rusty Bethel Drive, I'm Paisol Forbes. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition has a look at stories making news tonight.
Grand Bahama residents gear up for local government elections. Also, a man speaks out after being arrested for causing a disturbance at a church service. And later, police respond to a fight at a local high school, sparking major concerns.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
That's the only time that you have the right, you have the power in your hands to make a decision who you want to continue to help you in your country.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks for tuning in. Topping news, local government elections are set to take place tomorrow with a notable surge in candidates vying for positions, reflecting a significant increase from previous elections. Polling stations will be open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. as the countdown to election day ticks on. The key question is whether residents are excited to cast their votes and fully grasp the importance of local representation. Our reporter Matthew Martinborough hit the streets to find out and brings us the details in tonight's top story.
I think persons only come out when it's general election, but local government is an arm of the government. They are on the ground. They know what you want. They know what you need in your community. So it's very important for persons to come out and vote, to come out and exercise that's your rights. To choose the candidate of your choice.
As the local government election date approaches, some residents are sharing some polarizing comments about the upcoming event.
My personal intake on local government from where I'm from in Igmarock, it actually don't make no sense. You actually could see more of our MPs more than you can actually see local government. I really don't even know who's actually running for local government in Igmarock.
I honestly don't see what they're doing. They're just taking money from us. You come here now, it's the new year. Every time you look, it's something government needs to be paid for. You know, wellness and all this foolishness. I honestly, if it was left up to me, I wouldn't vote at all.
This is the first year that I've actually been excited about local government because I really didn't have a lot of information on exactly what they did
for the Bahamas and their communities, but I'm learning so much now because I actually have a really good friend and candidate who is a candidate in tomorrow's election.
Without local government, I really would get the job done, so it doesn't really matter to me. But in principle, I believe people should vote, and I believe, of course, people should vote for those ones that are credible and that are true to their words.
On the other side of the spectrum, community leaders like Dudley Sade are optimistic about the upcoming election.
I am excited. I always voted. I am encouraged all my family members to vote. So I'm very excited about local government. Every time it's an election, I'm excited because I think that's the only time that you have the right, you have the power in your hands to make a decision who you want to continue to help you in your country.
And I believe, of course, in local government. I believe that people that are reputable, credible individuals, more or less I would want to choose those particular persons.
Although the election is not that far ahead, it is imperative that new and recurring voters are knowledgeable about the candidates before making a decision that will impact their communities. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
Thanks, Matthew. Now, as the country prepares for the local government elections this coming Thursday, our Jolanda Thompson-Everest has you covered on where you need to cast your ballots on Grand Bahama.
Local government is just 3 days away, and the City Council wants to ensure that all residents are educated on the correct polling divisions for the area. For residents in the Pine Ridge constituency, polling division numbers 1, 2, and 3 voting will take place at the Hugh Campbell Primary School. Polling division number 4, voters will cast their ballots at the YMTA. For polling division numbers 5, Tabernacle Baptist Christian Academy is the assigned voting site. Polling division numbers 7 and 8 will be held at St. Paul's Methodist College. Voting will take place at Central Church of God. For polling division number 9. Polling division number 10 voting station is the Pro Cathedral Christ the King. For polling division numbers 3, 11, and 12, voters will cast their ballots at Jack Haywood Junior High School. And finally, for polling division numbers 13, voting will take place at Hugh Campbell Primary School. For residents staying in Marco City, polling division numbers 1 and 13 will be held at Freeport Gospel Chapel. Polling division numbers 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, and 14 will be held at Jack Hayward Senior High School. Polling division numbers 4, 9, and 15 will be held at Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy. Polling division numbers 5 and 6 will be held at Bishop Michael Eldon High School. And finally, polling division numbers 7 and 8 will be held at Sunland Baptist Academy. For residents staying in the Central Grand Bahama District, polling division numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7A will be held at Sister Mary Patricia Russell Junior High School. Polling division numbers 8, 12, and 14 will be held at St. George's High School. Polling division numbers 11A and 13A will be held at Lewis Yard Primary School. And for residents staying in East Grand Bahama, polling division numbers 3, 4, 7, 8, 10, and 13 will be held at Maurice Moore Primary School. Polling division numbers 9, 11, and 12 will be held at Freeport Primary School. And for polling division numbers 10, 15, and 16, you will cast your ballots at Walter Parker Primary School. Residents are asked to bring your ID, which can be your voter's card or passport, at the voting stations. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Now, once again, every employer is required to permit each of his or her registered employees 2 hours in addition to the normal lunch hour for the purpose of casting their vote. This, however, does not apply to an employee whose work schedule on polling day commences on or after 10 a.m. or concludes before 4 p.m. Also, no employer shall make any deduction from the employee's pay, and any employer who contravenes these provisions shall be guilty of an offense and liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $1,000 or temporarily up to 6 months in prison. Well, residents in the Northern Bahamas are eager to cast their ballots for the candidate they believe will best represent their island. Our Jolanda Thompson-Everest speaks with the island's administrator on what is expected tomorrow.
With an increase in interest to serve in the local government elections, campaigns have heated with just 1 day left before residents throughout the country mark their X for their representative of choice. Here in the Northern Bahamas, administrators for the Berry Islands, North Abaco and Bimini share last-minute preparations for the big day.
We had 5 persons that came in to nominate, of which 3 was successful and 2 were rejected because they did not appear on the register. As a result of that, the seat, polling division number 8, is uncontested.
We would have received all of the ballot boxes yesterday evening, and we have dispersed those boxes to the various polling divisions earlier in the morning at 6 o'clock. We've taken those boxes to the various stations so that the presiding officers will be able to conduct the local government elections.
The candidates are out campaigning.
And here's how they say residents on these respected islands are feeling.
Particularly in Green Turkey and Grand Key. Very excited about the elections tomorrow, and also in Little Abaco. Persons want to give their support.
There were persons that were interested who would have showed up outside of the nomination time, so unfortunately they weren't able to be nominated.
The administrator is speaking candidly about the importance of local government and the significant impact it has on these northern islands.
These persons that are elected are persons that live here, they're from here, and they know the needs of the persons here on the ground and in the Berry Islands, and of course the surrounding keys.
The councillors, they are the ones to help run the island along with the administrator. And so I think it's important that people choose the right person.
2024 Local Government Act, which will be put some teeth into the local council and townships and giving them more autonomy to do more things for their communities. And so everybody's excited about it.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Now for North Abaco, the voting site for polling division number 1 will be held at Grand Key All-Age School. For polling division number 2, residents can cast their ballot at Foxtown Primary School. And for polling division number 7, you can head to Green Turtle Key Primary School. Over in Bimini, Louise McDonald High School is the polling division voting for number 8. Residents who are in polling division number 9 can cast their ballots at St. Stephen's Parish Hall. For those living in polling division number 10, you will vote at Bimini Primary School, and the voting site for polling division number 11 will be held at Zion Baptist Church. Once again, the Berry Islands local government seat is uncontested. Now, while the process for local government appears to be running smoothly throughout the country, Berry Islanders are reportedly frustrated over what they describe as a lack of transparency in the island's local government nomination election process. According to a report published in the Tribune, one resident contends that he and a group of other residents were only made aware of the nomination deadline hours before via a WhatsApp group. Tonight, the administrator for the Berry Islands District, Kenwood Cartwright, is weighing in. According to Cartwright, only 5 individuals came forward to submit their nominations on nomination day.
Notice of election was posted so that all those persons would be aware of the upcoming nomination day as well as the upcoming election day. Also, reminders were sent through a community WhatsApp group. Of course, that's just being courteous because the official place to place any public notices is at the administrator's office, which was done from December 23rd. Nomination day was January 6th across the country. Here in the Berry Islands, the amount of applications were a bit low, leaving some of the residents disappointed.
It explains that the main concern for residents is the low number of nominations this year.
The residents are a little disappointed because they were hoping for a higher turnout with nominations so that there could have been an election. However, it is what it is. The election time was at 9 a.m. to 12 noon on nomination day, which was the 6th of January. And there were persons that were interested who would have showed up outside of the nomination time. So unfortunately, they weren't able to be nominated. So the community is currently pushing for some persons to be appointed by the minister, but we'll see how that goes.
Switching gears now, a man was escorted from a local church by police after allegedly causing a disturbance during worship. The individual taken away by police is speaking out tonight and claims he was delivering a message from God. But authorities say the church's pastor requested their intervention. The incident caught on video has sparked public debate, with the Christian Council weighing in on the legal implications.
They did the same thing for Jesus when he got into church and tell them about their wickedness and sin. Ain't no different. And who don't like me, then ain't nothing I can do about that. They didn't like Jesus.
80-year-old James Campbell Bowe was removed by police from a local church in Grand Bahama after reportedly causing a disturbance.
I raised my hand in the church to repeat what the Lord told me to testify to the church that morning. And the pastor, she got up and she began to carry on, but not this morning, this, not the next thing.
Video of Bowe being escorted out has gone viral on social media. When asked about the incident, Bowe claimed he was delivering a message from God.
Don't disrespect me. Do you understand me? Good. Let's go.
They began to, talk about, oh, they have guests coming in. Well, you have guests coming in, but I'm a member of the congregation, so I shouldn't be thrown out because you have guests coming in and you refuse to let me testify what the Lord tell me to say in the church, which is his word, not mine. Well, I decided not to leave, and I was going to leave. So they called the pastor, tell them to call the police.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Edvardo Dames confirmed to ZNS News that police were called by the church's pastor for assistance.
He was warned of his behavior and asked to leave the church and the area peacefully, and he did that. The pastor of the local establishment did not want any court proceedings. They just asked him to be warned to leave the sanctuary.
Bowe admits that this wasn't the first time police were called to remove him from the church.
The first time they did it, I stand up and I testify and tell the police officer I'm not coming out because I stand in the church on ground and pillar the truth. And this is the same thing what I'm standing been accused for or been arrested for.
Speaking generally, Bahamas Christian Council President Delton Fernando addressing the legal ramifications surrounding disturbances during a worship service.
Well, the Bahamas Penal Code, which governs police officers or any law enforcement, you can be arrested for disturbing a place of worship. Also, conventions say that churches are asylum, they're safe spaces. That whether you're a parishioner or a pastor, you could confess in a church, you could come in with a weapon in a church, you could do and turn it over to the pastor, and there's no ramifications for it until that person passes it on to the law enforcement.
Well, a viral video making the rounds on social media has sparked serious concern as it shows a fight breaking out in front of a high school on Grand Bahama. The footage captures school-age children engaging in a brawl, with one individual swinging a cutlass at another. Superintendent of Police Press Liaison Officer Stephen Roll for the Northern Bahamas confirming that no injuries were reported at this time and no one is in custody.
After that video that was circulated viral on social media, and I can say that that matter is under active investigation at this time. And once we complete our investigation, whoever was found to be at fault will be dealt with and put before the courts. At present, there is no report of any injuries, but no one's in custody at this time. Like I said, it's under investigation still. Once we complete it, and whoever was found at fault will be dealt with.
Now, our ZNS News team also reached out to the principal of St. George's High School and the Deputy Director of Education for the Northern Bahamas, but both declined to comment.
And still to come.
Residents getting the opportunity to meet their local government council representatives. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
to the new era of home improvement. Third Dimension is back and better than ever. Discover our latest products and services designed to transform your space. From innovative designs to cutting-edge technology, we've got it all. Your dream space is just a call away. Our team is here and ready to serve you, making your experience better than ever. Visit us today on Yellow Pine Street and see why Third Dimension is your go-to for all things home improvement.
Rudolph Roll is ready to be the voice for Holmes Rock Polling Division number 4, committed to bold action and real change for the community. Vote Rudolph Roll on January 23rd and let's get things done. Vote for Anthony Hepburn as your representative for Pinedale 8 Mile Rock in the upcoming local government election, January 23rd. Let's achieve progress with purpose. Vote Anthony Hepburn.
Hi, I'm Pastor Frank Hagan from the School of Prophetic Ministry with a special invitation for you to attend the gathering.
Grand Bahama. It's time to gather for the gathering. The School of the Prophetic Ministry presents The Gathering, celebrating 10 years of apostolic prophetic release on Grand Bahama with a dynamic Holy Ghost-filled conference beginning Wednesday, January 22nd to Friday, January 24th, 7:30 nightly. Day sessions Thursday and Friday at 12 noon. Come and hear from Prophet Eric Bourne Copeland from San Antonio, Texas, Apostle Rick Bethel from Belle Glades, Florida, conference host and speaker Apostle Christopher Russell and Pastor Anna Russell, all the way from Christian Tabernacle, Nassau. And oh yes, come and get your praise on with the Anointed Christian Tabernacle praise team led by Minister Eunice Roll. Grand Bahama, it's time to gather for the gathering, January 22nd to the 24th. Come and receive your miracle from God.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. With the local government election just hours away, candidates are making final connections with voters at a meet and greet event hosted at the iconic Ruby Smith restaurant. Their informal public invited gathering provides residents an opportunity to ask questions and hear directly from those seeking to represent their constituencies. Matthew Martinborough has more in this report.
In an effort to provide more insight on the plans they have in store for their respective constituencies, the 2025 local government candidates are hosting a meet and greet at the renowned Ruby Swiss in an effort to bridge the gap between the government and the local communities.
We have so much things we want to do. I know the council cannot do it alone. We have to do some partnership with the business communities, and we want the people to know that we will be your voice in this term of local government.
Sometimes when you do things, central government, the bureaucracy where you have to wait, you have to get approval from this, but with local government, all of those things are approved right there around the table with the 9 councillors.
We are going to be more active because we've gotten complaints, and also from what we have seen in our community, it's an absence. So we're going to be more present, we're going to be more vocal, and we're going to be there for our residents.
We want to let them know that we're here to support them while they're working at home and be there for their children and support them in any which way that we can possible.
The running candidates are also making it clear with the plans they have in store that local government is a voice for the people, by the people.
We look at our area in East Grand Bahamas like no other. It's not like Pine Ridge, it's not like Central, it's not like Marco City, but it's a unique place. East Grand Bahama needs more proper lighting. We need to have some roundabouts because we have a lot of traffic fatalities on Sunrise and Midshipman Road. These are just one or two things that we want to discuss.
I know we can be able to continue the work that was done, to be able to help and make sure that the residents can live a good life. And, not only live a good life, but they can be comfortable and when they're around their surroundings, because sometimes a clean place is a better place to live,
Our community can help us. So whoever is skillful in the community, we want to bring back programs where we can bring them on to teach. However, or we can even just bring them on to help the community in any way that we can. And like I say, we are hands-on and we are fully on board to improve Marco City and to see our Marco City come back to life and more.
The importance of local government is to communicate effectively with the residents on the ground and connect with them to hear their concerns.
With the election countdown continuing to dwindle, local government candidates are going the extra mile to ensure they represent not just regular constituencies, but places they call home. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
And that's a look at stories making news. Stay tuned. Sports is up next, but first a check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Thursday, January 23rd, vote Quinton Moxie for Jonestown in the upcoming local government election. Vote for a better future with Moxie. Repairs of pleated playgrounds, roof repairs and painting on homes for seniors and disabled, and more. Vote Quinton Moxie, Thursday, January 23rd.
Vote Chantal Forbes, January 23rd for local government Pinedale 8 Mile Rock. We're in this together. Don't let your vote go to waste. Vote Chantal Forbes, January 23rd for local government Pinedale 8 Mile Rock. Vote Jamal Martin for local government, Martintown and Russelltown. Removal of debris, removal of old cars, rebuild parks, bus stops, and much more. January 23rd. Vote for Jamal Martin, local government, Martintown and Russelltown.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. First in sports, college track and field season kicked off a few weeks ago. A number of Grand Bahamian athletes will be competing this weekend for various colleges and universities. Last year's career decathlete Marco Carey Jr. says he's poised for a breakout freshman year at Central Arizona Community College.
I've been practicing hard, and it's a lot of hard work, day in and day out. The coach is looking for you to put your best foot forward, and they're really looking for you to give it all you got, And my expectations going into this year's season is to qualify for Grifter, because this is my last year under 20. So, yeah, Grifter, Worlds, all that, and to be a national champion outdoor and indoor. The decathlon is like a hard event because, it's 10 things you got to do: jumping, running, hurdling, and even some distance, So to prepare for that, it takes a lot out of your body. But I'm down for the challenge, and let's see what I do there.
Next in sports, the US2 charity golf tournament wrapped up over at the Reef Golf Course. Winning the four-man scramble was a team of Brad Ashley, Ted Barrett, Doug Sinclair, and Bill Winkles. The two-man best ball went to Patrick Brown and Andrew Moxie. Greg Cooper and Ozzie Gardner placed second. The low gross in the two-man best ball was won by Hanford Bain and Allison Stewart. And the longest drive went to Brad Culmer. Overall, tournament director Andrew Moxie says the event was once again a success.
The turnout was excellent. We had a full field as we predicted, and there were a few persons who would have played but could not play because we had, reached the capacity of the course. But overall, it turned out to be a wonderful day. Of course, initially there was a little bit of trepidation because of the rainstorm that blew through, but following that, everything.
And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Improvement. Third Dimension is back and better than ever. Discover our latest products and services designed to transform your space. From innovative designs to cutting-edge technology, we've got it all. Your dream space is just a call away. Our team is here and ready to serve you, making your experience better than ever. Visit us today on Yellow Pine Street and see why Third Dimension is your go-to for all things home improvement.
The Ministry of Youth is inviting all unemployed youth between the ages of 17 and 25 to join its Fresh Start program. Training choices include carpentry and electrical, welding, hospitality, IT computer fundamentals, sales and cashing, OSHA, and Bahama Hoops. To apply, visit the ministry's office at the Regent Center East or call 351-6667 for more information. The Ministry of Youth invites all who work with young people to be certified. Register now to be a part of its National Youth Leadership course. For more information, visit the ministry's office at the Regent Center East or call 351-6667. Spaces are limited. Sharpen your skills and learn new methods to handle today's youth with YLCP certification.
Super Bowl Sunday just got even better.
Starting January 27, enter to win a 58-inch TV from Security Depot or a great game day pizza party for 8 courtesy of Cuba Libre and Angelo's Street Side Pizzeria.
2, enter to win to be one of 2 lucky winners of the Great Game Day giveaway.
WhatsApp a photo of a 2025 Cuba Libre purchase receipt to 557-3488 with your name and phone contact by Wednesday, February 5th.
Then, watch what's trending on February 6th to see if you're one of the lucky Great Game Day giveaway winners.
#1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, justice for Fernley as authorities crack another hole in that high-profile case involving a now-fired senior police officer. Also, the Prime Minister extends the olive branch to disgruntled officers in a bid to squash lingering tensions. And hear how and why policymakers are pushing to reform the Foreign Service and what led to the opposition's objection to the bill. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Is a general election closer than Bahamian voters think? Well, whether or not it is, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis using his address to attendees of the Progressive Liberal Party's monthly meeting last evening to hint at the launch of his party's campaign as it eyes a second term in office. The PLP swept 32 of the 39 seats in Parliament in the 2021 general election.
See, with my own eyes, who looking battle ready. Battle ready, I said. And we all get to be together tonight. It's a win-win, which makes sense because we in the wedding business. We might have all the talent and depth on our side, but one thing we have, the same as the other fellas. You understand now? The one thing that we have as the same as the other fellas, you know what that is? The number of days between now and election day. And I have a plan to make every one of those days count. But before we get to know how we'll win, let's focus on why winning is so important.
Well, the Prime Minister also using his platform last evening to renew his government's commitment to ease ongoing tensions with the doctors' union that led to last week's two-day mass sick-out. Lloyd Allen has the details in this next story.
From the outside of the Princess Margaret Hospital, operations seem just like any other day. But at its core, ongoing issues with the Nurses and Doctors Union and government. But according to the Prime Minister, those issues are like a cancer that must be cut out, brought to an end, allowing the government and public facilities like this one to move forward.
Let's finalize this union agreement and let us all move forward.
During that branch meeting, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis referencing the ongoing negotiations with the unions representing doctors and nurses, those under the Trade Union Congress, saying they represent a valuable component of public service important to the country.
Well, let me make this clear. This administration has always stood by our healthcare workers, and we will continue to do so.
Regarding nurses, Prime Minister Davis assures during the COVID pandemic, nurses were supported, and that support, he says, continues today.
When we came into office, we did not waste any time because we were still in the cusp of the COVID pandemic. We sat down, listened to their concerns, and negotiated a new agreement in just a few months. We ensured they got better pay. We ensure they got better benefits and the respect they deserve.
Adding that retention bonuses and life insurance plans have also been given, something his government feels speaks to its commitment and respect to those professions.
Our healthcare system can't function without them. They are the backbone of care in this country. And we have shown them with actions, not just words, that we value their word.
While the government again expressing its commitment to signing new deals, the ball now lies on the side of doctors. President of the Medical Association of the Bahamas, Dr. Gemerol, in a press statement calling the recent industrial action, quote, a right that embodies their allegiance to advocate for fair working conditions. Challenges, she says, are deeply rooted in complex issues that have been decades in the making, involving industrial agreements. Meantime, the Prime Minister hopes for an amicable solution for all parties involved. From the Princess Margaret Hospital for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. From doctors to teachers tonight, education officials responding quickly today to a sick-out at C.V. Bethel Senior High. Now, according to Education Director Dominic McCartney-Russell, a teacher was reportedly threatened while attempting to intervene in a student altercation on a Monday. It said that the teacher, in turn, fought back. The whole incident not sitting well with C.V. Bethel teachers who voiced concerns about safety to our news team, pointing to an increase in violent altercations and the threat of gang activity on the South Beach campus. The teachers say they have repeatedly raised concerns with school officials, vowing that classrooms will remain empty until those issues are addressed.
We had 29 teachers who went to their classes and the others actually sat out. As a result of that, administrators had to step in and settle the school, which they were able to. The principal would have met with the shop steward and indicated to the shop steward to, go through the grievance process, give the grievance in writing. Nonetheless, she met with the shop steward, and I just hope that they will meet with the teachers, give the principal the opportunity for the grievance policy and process, the opportunity to address their concerns.
Meantime, the education director says a backup plan is in place in the event the protest continues.
If they are not satisfied, however, the process also allows for it to escalate to the district level and then, of course, to the ministry level. We normally would send a mediator to the school. We would have sent a team member there to support the effort. And it is our hope that after meeting with the principal that they would iron out those issues and we'll be able to, maximize the opportunities for children.
In other news, a man, one of the now infamous 13 named in that recent U.S. federal indictment, accusing him along with some now former high-ranking law enforcement officials of facilitating drug trafficking operations, appeared in a Bahamian court today where he faced both murder and drug-related charges. Corval Pyfram has the story.
Almost exactly 7 months to the day that Giovanni Roll, the 38-year-old aviation line service worker, was gunned down as he arrived for work. A third person accused in connection with his murder was brought before the courts. 26-year-old Donald Ferguson II, facing murder and a slew of drug-related charges. A courtroom filled with members of both the victim and his alleged killer's family sat quietly as proceedings began Wednesday afternoon. As Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley started to read aloud Ferguson's docket, at the first mention of the victim's name, there was a brief interruption by family. His sister asking that her brother be referred to by his more common name, Giovanni, instead of his given name, Jeffrey. The chief magistrate accepted the interruption and allowed the correction. Then came the charges. Ferguson, a resident of Coral Harbor, appeared well-groomed. His hair neatly braided. He wore blue jeans with a green sweater. Its label prominently shown. It read, Royalty. On June 16th last year, it is alleged that Ferguson, acting with others, shot and killed Roll as he arrived at his job at Jet Nassau. He was not required to enter a plea to the sole count of murder. Roll, the father of two, was killed on Father's Day. Since his killing, his family has been on a tireless pursuit for justice, searching for answers, determined to have his assailants have their day in court.
And as a family, we just want to say to God be all the glory. To
Yes,
all the glory. And he's more than a conqueror. While we know no legal proceeding can bring back what we've lost, we count this as a significant step towards our journey of justice. We will continue steadfastly as we have done to get to this place, to fight for justice for our brother.
Ferguson, also known as DJ or Billy, also faced a range of drug possession charges, including conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. According to police, he was reportedly involved in that December 6th major drug seizure following a plane crash in Acklands. Ferguson is also one of 13 people named on a U.S. indictment for conspiracy to import cocaine and other charges, along with Police Chief Superintendent Elvis Curtis, Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, and Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roca, who have all since been discharged of their duties. Ferguson is described in that indictment as a Bahamian who previously acted as a pilot and now operates as a middleman for drug trafficking activities in the Bahamas. He has been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and is expected to return to court on May 7th and 8th. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Well, meantime, thieves keen on keeping up with the times that are now using social media and the internet to hack into and steal money from clients' accounts. The good news is police are on their heels and have, in fact, formally charged a number of Bahamians. Vaughn Aubrey reports.
5 Bahamians, alleged scammers, were charged this year with stealing, acquisition of funds, and money laundering. According to Superintendent Anthony McCartney, director of the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Branch, scammers fished the funds from Bahamian bank accounts. Phishing is increasing.
When hackers send out information, whether it be by SMS text message or by email notification, in an attempt to get information from persons, sensitive information, and in most instances, these SMS messages and also email notifications, they appear to be from legitimate financial institutions. And as indicated, it's all in an attempt to get just sensitive personal information to somehow get a hold of your banking information.
McCartney says this year alone, more than $150,000 was scammed from Bahamian accounts in this reoccurring scheme. Wednesday, a couple came to the office to report that their son's account was scammed for more than $10,000.
They've targeted the young and the old, so nobody's exempted from these phishing attacks and these scammers. As long as you have monies that they can benefit from, you are liable to be a victim.
During our interview, cameraman Utah Taylor showed that he received what he terms suspicious calls to his cell requesting personal information. The financial crime chief's advice: be vigilant.
Also to be cautious while conducting their personal banking information, especially on their electronic devices, and to be wary in just responding to information. Verify the information that you receive before clicking or accessing these financial institution websites, just for taking a few minutes to verify the information. And so we've found that these scammers, it is a network, and so the persons here involved, they usually recruit other persons to go and assist them to facilitate committing these acts.
More Bahamians are expected to be charged in this phishing scheme. For the Bahamas Tonight, I am Vaughn Albury.
Thanks, Vaughn. Coming up, the opposition returns. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report. There's more news in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC Value Box for just $9.95. Crunch your KFC craving with a KFC Value Box for just $9.95. Get a piece of our golden fried chicken, crispy fries, cheesy mashed potatoes, 3 juicy all-white meat nuggets, a buttery biscuit, a sweet dessert biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda, all for just $9.95. Now that's a deal. Big flavor, bigger value, and always KFC. Finger licking good.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
Check this out, you wanna know how I did this? Paper! You want fun? Fine.
Wait, all you need is 4 people to sign up and you straight pay cash.
I know, man. This sounds like a pyramid.
Yeah, to build your way to the top.
Like I say, the rectangle.
Sound like big money to me.
You all know scammers always try to promise you a quick and easy cash. Paper, paper, paper. Don't let them pressure you no. into giving them your money. Protect your hard-earned cash. Think twice before investing into these pyramid schemes would seem too good to be true. Visit scb.gov.bs to learn more ways to protect yourself from fraudsters and scammers. Watch your money.
Hello?
You guys had anything to eat as yet? Y'all know Christmas just gone and things go rough.
All right, but y'all let me working all day, but what we gonna eat?
If we was by the mall, we could go by Wendy's and get the Dave special for $5.
Yeah, but you do know that the Dave's deal is now actually nationwide, right?
Wait, let's go. Cable Beach right there. Let's go.
All right.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking there at a shot of an absolutely stunning shot of Cabbage Beach on Paradise Island here in New Providence. Welcome back. Despite the opposition's objection, the Ministry of Foreign Services bill sailed through the lower chamber this morning, clearing the path for modern legislation. As Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell explained, the whole idea is to make foreign service more efficient, objective, accountable, and transparent, aligning local practices with those globally. Its structure will mirror that of the Ministry of Tourism, with the department to be run by a Director General.
The Director General should be appointed by the Minister and has responsibility for all technical matters related to the Foreign Service, including the formulation, promotion, and advancement of foreign policy, and advising the Minister on all matters relating to the Foreign Service. The Director General serves at headquarters and has the rank of Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary. Plenipotentiary means that the Director General has, like ambassadors and ministers, the ability to sign on behalf of the country. and reports directly to the minister.
Well, more than a month after opposition leader Michael Pintard, along with 5 other F&M MPs, were handed 2 session suspensions for tossing the Speaker's mace from the House of Assembly, today marked their return. Ahead of entering the lower chamber, Mr. Pintard told reporters he has put the matter behind him, but still defends the actions of his parliamentary caucus. The F&M leader is also holding on to the view that the entire situation has been misrepresented by the Prime Minister and his team.
All of you have copies of the film and you know what the truth is, and it's rather unfortunate that such important voices would misrepresent the facts. So we're excited about being back in the House.
A Deputy Speaker and Member of Parliament for North Eleuthera, Sylvanus Petty, was injured during that incident in the lower chamber, but today an upbeat and smiling Petty said he holds no animosity.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's a part of life. He called, we spoke the following day, so that was it.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' coverage of the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
Well, we now turn our attention to news across the seas, where a top Democrat and longtime friend of the Bahamas promises a great and strong relationship with the Caribbean, tackling issues that are not only good for the United States, but its allies. Ahead of his January 20th inauguration, United States President Donald Trump tapped former football star Herschel Walker to become the new U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas. It's one of many picks, though, that the Democrats outrightly oppose. And top Democrat on the House Financial Services Committee, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, makes no secret of it.
We take a look at those nominees. We take a look at how they have defined themselves, the work that they have done, the way that they have conducted themselves, and whether or not they are to be trusted. And I have to tell you that the nominee for the Bahamas is not one that I support. And of course, there are those who would have questions about the way that he's conducted himself when he ran for office and his background. And so there's a difference of opinion, and that is well known. And I am very interested in the Bahamas getting the best representation that we could possibly provide, and the relationships are protected. And so I'm worried a bit.
Although Walker has been appointed, his nomination must still be approved by the Senate. One thing Waters promises is that there will be disapproval. It isn't lost on anyone that the U.S. ambassador-designate is black, a segment of the U.S. population President Trump claims he has increased support.
Let's be clear, it is not substantially large numbers. Of course, there is a small element in the black community, and they have basically campaigned, and 2 black men in particular. And of course, they've gotten some response from that, and some of that comes from the hip-hop community, and some of that are people who may be dissatisfied that life has not presented them with all that they would like to have, and they may be looking to him and the way that he is trying to attract them and thinking that perhaps they have some better opportunities.
Those issues aside, Congresswoman Waters holds firm to a view shared by Ambassador Wendell Jones that she sees no reason why the great relationship between the U.S. and the Bahamas will change in the face of a new government. Well, stay with us on The Beat is after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this
bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
The Consumer Protection Commission ramping up its national educational campaign to help protect the rights of consumers and reduce the high volume of complaints against businesses. Desmond Saunders explains in this week's Consumer Choice Report.
The Bahamas Consumer Commission seeing a noted increase in complaints against businesses for 2024. Executive Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Senator Randy Roll, telling ZNS News that out of the 444 complaints logged by his team, over 200 of them were resolved, saving consumers over $240,000 in savings.
In the past, people would have been making purchases not knowing that there is some redress. What we've done, what we've been trying to do, is to educate our consumers as to now the law changed in 2023, and so there is a legislation with teeth in it that says you don't have to take that loss. You can make a complaint. We have a very competent team that are able to work with you to mitigate as much as possible.
Courier services and beauty supply stores were the largest number of complaints the Commission received last year, followed by hardware and auto supply stores. Manager of complaints at the Commission, Dadis Farrington, overseeing most of the unit's grievances.
The purchase of vehicles. You know, investment in the vehicle is a huge investment. And in some cases, it's a dead-end investment because the money doesn't turn over. You know, so you have to be very conscious and aware of who you are buying vehicles from, making sure that they are a reputable business and that the warranty, and you read the fine print in the warranty document to ensure that you're getting value for money and that there's recourse in the event there's a defect or damage to the vehicle.
When purchasing items from merchants, the Commission now advising residents to be aware of the following red flags and pitfalls.
Look at what's being said, being sold. Do your comparison, do your own comparison. See what are the best prices out there. And then once you would have done that, then of course third-party referrals are always good.
The Commission will be working with the Attorney General's office and other relevant government agencies to clear other grievances. Additionally, the Commission has mounted a national education campaign to protect the rights of consumers. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Well, it seems we just can't get enough of Desmond. He's across the way with all of Dawn Davis to give us a sneak peek of Access Now. Guys?
Because I know you back over there in St. Anne's, I'm sure you were, I guess, during the assemblies you heard you had to put your hand on your chest and say, I pledge my allegiance to the flag, right, Desmond?
And our favorite song, God Bless Our Sunny Climb.
Yes.
My favorite song in primary school, Dr. Philip Ramming.
Celebrating his birthday.
We're going to be highlighting him tonight, giving him his due just rewards.
That's sweet. Stay with us. The National Report returns after the break.
With BGC's crystal clear mobile service, Stay connected seamlessly, whether on land or at sea. Our reliable postpaid plans keep your loved ones closer, no matter where life takes you.
Wait, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all day large, one topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, VAT included, but.
Do I need the $10 special plate?
How many would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
All you Rankin Scrape lovers out there, Saturday, February 1st, Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group invites you out to enjoy some Bahamian culture. With Collect! KB and Friends in concert, the Boatman Show. Saturday, February 1st at the Farm, Marshall Road. Can't wait to see you there. The legendary KB and Friends. Your Sonic, Sweet Emily, Blanc, Gino D, Colin McDonald, Irish Store in the Spank Man, The Falcons, Ancient Man, Mama D, Shine, 242 and more. KB and Friends in concert at the Farm, Saturday, February 1st. Tickets on sale at the Beauty Shack. Low location, General 50, VIP 80. And for the Platinum fans, exclusive skyboxes are available. Gates open at 7 p.m. For more info, call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Let's keep the vibe alive. Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
So my name is Shad Fur. The name of my song is Bahamas, in brackets, a real place. And I came in second place in the Tourism is Everyone's Business songwriting competition. The second I found out what the competition was looking for, I knew I wanted to make a song that could capture the magic of being Bahamian. Telling my story ain't a hard thing to do through my music. It's just that I do it through all genres. And so the song I was lucky enough to come second in the Tourism is Everyone's Business competition was like a fusion, an island fusion kind of genre. When I make music, when I make art, there's a motif behind it. There's something more to it than just me making something random, even if it sounds random. The reason I wanted the phrase mother flip to be in it is because it's important for Bahamians to hear themselves and to see themselves in an unadulterated but high quality fashion. We're finally in a place where we could get over the need to pretend we something we're not in order to succeed within the industry at large. Bahamians want to see Bahamians. We love laughing at each other. We love hearing each other sing. We love supporting each other. The next generation who coming up could see people like me and see people like my contemporaries, and through being a Bahamian, naturally, I could be global. We good. Like, I could always be a ambassador for the country because I am a Bahamian. This is our music. This is our home. These are our islands. This is our industry. Tourism is everyone's business.
Right up, the National Pledge celebrates another birthday. The details straight ahead.
A closer look at the career of a retired president of the Court of Appeal will tell you more.
Plus, a police officer committed to farming. Stay tuned for that.
And coming up in sports, GAAA high school basketball continues.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
I can't believe it's Wednesday, midweek. Good evening, everybody. I'm Desmond Saunders.
And I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
I thank all of you for joining us. Local government elections coming up. Everybody's excited and talking about that.
Very much so excited, Desmond. My phone has been, I guess I've been seeing flyers on my phone all week long, so I'm sure our persons are eager to represent the various islands and the various communities around the Family Islands.
And also to take control of their affairs.
Yes.
Giving them empowerment and the will to succeed and to create their own environment. So that's a good thing.
Because, you know, there are a lot of issues going on in the Family Islands, roadworks issues, water issues, you know, Eleuthera, you know, Harbour Island, where I'm from. There's a number of electricity issues, water issues, road. I'm sure you know,
yes,
you're from Cat Island.
Yes,
so
yes,
you know about those issues.
Similar situations, but definitely we'll be watching. Let's dive straight into the news for you this evening. A distinguished former House of Assembly chaplain celebrated for his 92nd birthday today by parliamentarians. The Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming, who served during the speakership of Sir Alvin Brennan and retired from the post in 1969, is also a national hero responsible for penning the country's pledge and the national song, God Bless Our Sunny Clime. In addition to House Speaker, Member of Parliament for Fox Hill, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, and Opposition Leader Michael Pintar joined with colleagues in paying tribute.
Your presence here today is a blessing to us all. Happy birthday, Reverend Ramming, from me to you, sir.
He's an eminence grise in Fox Hill, the oldest of the pastors, part of the George Mackey generation, former president of the Christian Council, and we revere him in the community of Fox Hill. He is the senior pastor emeritus of Rehoboth Ministries, a church which he built from scratch.
I had the great honor of being present at the service where he made his last set of appointments at the church that he has come to be associated with for so many years, and to watch a transition in leadership, but also to hear additional tributes to the legacy that he's established in this country, and we are grateful to him.
Retired President of the Court of Appeal, Justice John Isaacs, has a rich legacy that goes back several generations. As he demitted office, he was hailed by his peers for his lifelong career and his family's dedication to the pursuit of justice.
It's not often that we know about the personal lives of our judges, but on this special occasion, we learn of a man fit in athletics, firm in the law, and committed to country.
With his retirement as judge, the Bahamas judiciary loses a wealth of experience and knowledge that cannot easily be replaced. But Justice Isaacs stands as an example to many young lawyers that public service can be rewarding and a fulfilling career. Justice Isaacs, congratulations on your admirable career in law. We will certainly look to you for your advice, guidance, and hopefully continued public service in the future.
Justice of Appeal Isaacs hails from a family of several generations of distinguished public servants and nation builders. His father, the late Honorable Samuel Isaacs, was one of the 6 men elected to Parliament with Sir Lyndon Pinling and Sir Milo Butler in the 1950s. His mother, Mrs. Marjorie Isaacs, served nobly in the public service. His grand aunt, Dame Bertha Isaacs, together with the suffragettes, fought for women's suffrage that led to universal suffrage.
I believe that your lordship still plays some rugby, perhaps as one means of staying fit to tackle the rigors of this court. I'm also aware that your lordship has a competitive game of tennis, a pursuit, it would be fair to say, that was inherited from family
a family of tennis players.
Your Lordship stands out in my mind and memory as a true Stoic, with the classic judicial temperament and presentation of patience with counsel and parties who appeared before you. While it was not patience without limit or characterless stoicism, Your Lordship remained a judge attorneys would welcome sitting alone or on an appellate panel. It therefore feels anachronistic to be saying goodbye to Your Lordship when we clearly remain in need of your service.
Justice Isaacs is a trailblazer in more ways than one. He set many precedents on the bench in the law, but he also set a new precedent as the first male judge with braids on the bench, smashing old colonial perceptions and hopefully starting a new trend of embracing our culture. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Right there in the Bahamas, where tourism and finance often dominate the conversation, one police officer is planting the seeds for a future where agriculture plays a pivotal role in the country's sustainability. West College Forbes tells us more.
Today, we had an opportunity to speak to Kiash McKenzie Sr., an individual that wears many different hats: father figure, counselor, law enforcement officer. But when he's not in uniform, he's in the fields. McKenzie has spent over a decade in drug enforcement unit working tirelessly to combat illegal drugs in the archipelago. Outside of his law enforcement duties, McKenzie is a farmer tending to his crops and animals in his spare time. For him, farming is more than just a hobby. It is a vital part of his lifestyle and a way to contribute to the country's economic and food security.
Inflation, actually, in the food store and bread basket items. We look at all of those stuff, and I feel that Poisons are now seeing the importance of actually going out there and partaking in this venture. Farming is a wide field. It's actually a science, and when done properly, you could see how much you could contribute to your country at large.
As the Bahamas looks ahead to a future rooted in agriculture, it's key to a more resilient and self-sufficient nation, which McKenzie says we can all be a part of the change.
We are definitely headed in the right direction. We have a lot of young farmers. We have some of the older farmers who impart knowledge based on past successes, and they also tell you some of the challenges that they were faced with. Now we are meeting at mid-ground where we can actually go there and see how we could produce better products. And I feel as if because of Poisons understanding the importance of agriculture at this point, we have a lot more Poisons showing interest.
Farming is not a profession confined in a specific class, McKenzie shares, but rather a universal endeavor for all, regarding their background. Director of Agriculture Dion Gibson concurs.
I've set up backyard gardens all over this island, all over the country. Some of the gated communities with some of our wealthiest residents, and to some of our most modest Bahamians who just want to cut back on their food bill, or they just want to eat healthier. Persons do it for all number of reasons, whether it be health reasons, whether it be financial savings, or whether it be that it's a hobby, but they see the value in growing their own food. And so I don't think anyone should be closed-minded to think that backyard farming is limited to any group of individuals.
As a man who embodies service in many forms, McKenzie is calling for more respect and appreciation for the roles that both farmers and law enforcement officers play in the Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Still to come, financial planning for business success. We'll dive deeper into that in tonight's edition of Leno Wealthwise. That and more when Access Now continues.
Fashion was something that I've always loved. I always, as a child, loved to see women just impeccably dressed. But my thing was drawing the looks and mixing colors, and fashion was in my blood. I put my personality into my passion. Well, the Fabric of Hope was inspired by my father. My father had cancer, and I would go with him to treatments and seeing everybody just look despondent and dreary. And I was like, wow, like God, like, I'm only a fashion designer. Like, what can I do to assist these people? I know God had me to create it to inspire persons with cancer or any illness that there's hope. It's been in my heart for a couple of days to speak to the older women who may feel that I'm 40, what can I do? I'm 50, what can I do? And that's when the fire in us kicks in. So take that idea that God has given you and put it to use. This is where it all begins.
Empowered women empower women.
pound tuna, 5 ounces, 2 for $1.89. Fish picnics, $1.99 per pound. Iceberg lettuce, $1.99 each. Fish tomatoes, $1.99 per pound. Every time you shop, you can save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Point of Western Providence. Let's take a trip now around the family islands. Thousands across the country will cast their ballots tomorrow as polls open at 8 a.m. for local government elections. Tonight, Colville Python reports on how officials are getting ready.
Acting Director of Local Government Donald Rold and his team are hard at work preparing for local government elections, which is set to take place this Thursday.
By this time, all of the ballot boxes are in the respective areas. The administrators and the policemen would have received the ballots yesterday and today, and they will be issued first thing in the morning through all of the 33 districts throughout the Family Islands and Grand Bahama.
These elections will be conducted similarly to general elections, Roll says, but there are some nuances.
The difference with the local government election is you don't vote in constituencies. You must reside and vote in that polling station that you're residing. So you must be a registered voter in that particular polling station.
Is this a perfect system? Local government officials say of course not, but their word to residents partaking in these critical elections, as they describe them, is this: by not partaking, that's the best way to ensure that the system works even less efficiently. And for North Andros and the Berry Islands MP Leonardo Lightbourne and Kingsley Smith, who represents West, Grand Bahama, and Bimini, places where these local government elections will take place, they understand the significance of the process.
It puts the people in power. They allow them to make their decisions. They allow them to control what's being done in their communities, the wants and the do's, the do's and the don'ts. So it's very essential for the Family Islands.
I applaud those persons for putting themselves forward, meaning that they have an interest for their communities. They want to see better. They have ideas. They have vision. And so we hope for a nice, smooth process tomorrow and may the best man or woman win.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Thanks a lot, Corvell. In today's economy, financial planning is crucial now more than ever for small business owners. Many entrepreneurs are facing challenges like handling taxes and managing cash flow. Tonight, Leno gives us a closer look at why financial planning is essential for business success.
Running a business is no small feat. It can be rewarding, but it also comes with financial uncertainties, which is why having a solid plan in place can make all the difference.
Financial planning is very important for small business owners because it helps them to create a roadmap that gives the company direction in terms of preparing for their revenues, expenses, and just to be able to foresee any pitfalls that may come their way into the future.
One of the biggest aspects of financial planning is cash flow management. Tracking all the money coming in and going out of the business is vital, as cash flow problems can arise even when business is profitable. Without enough cash on hand to cover expenses, a business can quickly find itself in trouble. Another area that often trips up small business owners is VAT.
As a small business owner, if you fall into the category of VAT filing, it's suggested and recommended that you set aside on a monthly basis sufficient funds or money to ensure that at quarter end you would have met that VAT obligation.
Planning for VAT ahead of time helps business owners reduce their overall tax burden and avoid financial strain when VAT is due. And when it comes to business savings, expert at Leno recommends setting aside enough to cover 3 to 6 months worth of expenses as a safety net for slow periods or emergencies. So with all that, what makes a solid financial plan?
The key elements for a solid financial plan for business are to ensure that you have a proper budget in place, to monitor your budget, to be flexible as you put a budget in place, and to ensure that a proper cash flow management is also practiced as a small business owner.
Sound financial planning is the backbone of any successful small business. Next week, we meet with Leno to talk about the ins and outs of insurance. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Some good advice there, Diane. Thanks a lot. Stay close. Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports.
GWSA basketball action heating up over at the C.I. Gibson Gym. Details of that story coming up in sports.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Keep the vibe alive, music on percent. KB. Why you don't know me yet? KB and friends. The Boatman Show.
All you Rankin Scrape lovers out there, Saturday, February 1st, Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group invites you out to enjoy some Bahamian culture.
With Colette.
KB and Friends in concert, The Boatman Show.
Saturday, February 1st at the Farm, Marshall Road.
Can't wait to see you there.
The legendary KB and Friends. Your Saturday, Sweet Emily, Blanc, Gino D, Colin McDonald, Irish Store in the Spank Man, The Falcons, Ancient Man, Mama D, Shine, 242 and more.
KB and Friends in concert at the Farm, Saturday, February 1st.
Tickets on sale at the Beauty Shack. Low location, General 50, VIP 80. And for the Platinum fans, exclusive skyboxes are available. Gates open at 7 p.m. For more info, call ESC Distributors at 394-0819. Let's keep the vibe alive.
Welcome to your Wednesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The GWSA basketball season continuing yesterday. Defending senior boys champions, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers in action, hoping to continue their quest for their third straight title. Eugene Stewart was courtside and filed this report.
The GWSA senior boys regular season hit its midway point yesterday as the C.I. Gibson Rattlers hosted the R. Bailey Pacers at the C.I. Gibson Gym. The Rattlers came out strong on defense, keeping the Pacers within a slim 2-point advantage in the first quarter. Despite the Pacers' attempt to gain a lead, CI would hold their ground, leading 22-20 at halftime. After the break, R.M. Bailey managed a 5-point run, but the Rattlers stayed in control, extending their lead to 35-25. By the fourth, CI pulled away with a dominant performance on their home court, sealing a 52-35 victory. Coach Kevin K.J. Johnson speaking on his squad's performance and preparation for the road up ahead.
We just need to stay focused, stay locked in, and hopefully get better defensively. I think R.M. Bailey out-rebounded us. That's one area we need to work on. But they shot the ball well. Number 11 can shoot the ball. Defensively, they cost us. They slow us down big time. But like I say, the fourth quarter we picked it up and we were able to force some turnovers and score some easy baskets. Whatever it is, we got to be ready to play. You know, we won by 1 or 2 points for CC. It was a tough game against Anatole. A tough game tonight. So we got to be ready to play. So in any given day, we just got to be prepared and lock in and do what we have to do.
Power forward Mario Roll Jr., who led the game with 20 points, says that they are focused on their championship run.
I feel good. That's usual. Coach keep pushing me harder and harder to focus on the court and off the court at the same time. I can work hard. Got to get the championship 3 straight.
The GWSA regular season continues through the end of January, and sudden death playoffs for both junior and senior divisions is slated for February 6. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
That's a look at your sports on this Wednesday. A check on weather when we return.
$1.28. Every time you shop, you can save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community, also help with the education of our kids in this community, and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
It's time for your Access Weather Forecast. Front system went through the northwest Bahamas this morning, bringing with it some passing showers. That front will back up as a warm front tomorrow, rendering some warmer temperatures during the daytime, but it will re-enter the northwest Bahamas on Friday. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the northwestern islands tonight, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights will be around 2 to 4 feet, with a high tide taking place at 7:57. And for the central and southeastern islands, light and variable winds, very flat sea conditions. And tomorrow, which is Thursday, for all areas, the light and variable conditions will continue throughout the 700 islands, with those flat seas continuing. So beautiful boating conditions for the next few days. And then as we head into Friday in the northwestern islands, the winds become southwest to west ahead of a frontal system. Speeds at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights picking back up 2 to 4 feet. The front itself will go through late in the afternoon on Friday, so we'll see a shift in those winds becoming northwest behind the front and increasing in speeds. Low tide will take place at 10 in the morning, with high tide at 3:35 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands on Friday, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Desmond and Ladon.
Well, I think as we get more of these cooler temperatures, a good thing for our audience and our residents to stay warm and safe.
I'm enjoying this cold weather, Desmond. I was just going to call you Basil. But I'm enjoying the weather. I'm bundling up. I'm sure you're bundling up.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
Yes, let's swing things over now to Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matea, and you're watching the segment dedicated to bringing you what's new and fresh in socials. Today, we're talking about a new and emerging artist, Heath X. His music thus far, renditions of classic Bahamian songs that we all know and love. Heath X added a unique twist, though, that I'm sure you've never seen before. He sings and performs them in the style of rock. Iconic songs like Blame It on the Water, Born Pineapple Wine, and I'm a Boatman have all been performed and covered on TikTok by the rock artist. Take a look.
I got a new dance, hot like pepper pie. From the old to the young, it'll make your body rock. It's really easy, easy peasy. You can do it anywhere, jump around like you don't care. Foolish chill, forget the bill. And now they got it started and started. I'm a broke man, a seaman.
Now, because this is extremely new and for the most part unseen and unorthodox for most Bahamians, many can't tell if he's serious or if his music is satire. Either way, he's been on the For You pages of many this week. What do you think? Is Heath an example that Bahamian music may still have some room for advancement and possibly change? I'm Matea, and this has been Let's Talk Socials.
Ooh, interesting spin.
Very interesting spin there, Matea. Thank you so much for that.
Well, that does it for Access Now.
Stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Take care.
This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Bahamas National Trust in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
For 60 years, we have been here, the voice of the environment. Here, speaking up and for your national parks, all across the islands of this nation. The places God visits for vacation, spanning over 2.5 million acres of land and sea. How delighted then he must be to see a sea of pink, as flamingos mingle and haven like jingles play where queen counts still sleep. And if you listen, you can hear it. The words of gossiping parrots awaiting the diction of the day. All 365 of them, that's every day and every year, 15,000 children share in the beauty of this playground. Our name is yours. And we have been yours for years unnoticed. Don't forget us. Support us. Your national parks. The defenders of your environment. Join us. Remember, our cause is yours. The first land and sea park in the world is yours. Heritage. Here it is. When was the last time you gasped at our scenery, gotten lost in the depth of our reefs, or even awed at the green of the leaves of our trees? Don't hesitate to donate and volunteer. Don't hesitate to care. We are here for you. The Bahamas National Trust, BNT. 3 letters that spell out simply, perfectly, and undoubtedly that we are yours.
At Harold Point, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' coverage of the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
From this moment on, America's decline is over. I was saved by God to make America great again. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
And that's the home that the new president, Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States of America, will occupy for the next 4 years. Well, it's been a journey. Welcome to The Rundown. It's so good to have all of you with us for our final show dealing with the United States inauguration and, of course, its new president. We had the opportunity to talk to Ben Carson. He was, of course, a secretary for urban development and housing in the first Trump administration. He talks about the importance of Trump being in office and, of course, how it impacts the relationship with the Bahamas. Take a look. How do you feel, sir, about the relationship with the Bahamas and America? When you think about the Bahamas, what comes to mind?
Well, I think there are probably more Americans of Bohemian ancestry than there are people in the Bahamas themselves. It's been a very good relationship. I hope it continues to flourish. A lot of very talented individuals have come to our shores from the Bahamas, and we want to keep that relationship strong.
As America prepares for 47th president, President Trump, what do you want to say to America as he gets ready to take office?
Well, you know, I'm just happy that we look like we're kind of have some common sense. And, you know, common sense is good for everybody. And President Trump is very serious. Now, here's a man who had plenty of money, who was as famous as anybody in the world, and he didn't have to do this. But he decided that we were going in the wrong direction. And I'm very excited about
You served last time as secretary. Will you be taking any kind of service this round?
Well, you know, I would prefer to work outside of the government, behind the scenes, because I can be involved in lots of different things and not confined to a little box.
If there was one thing you're in particular looking toward for the Trump presidency, what would it be?
I would see laying the foundation for a strong economy and understanding how things intersect with each other. For instance, if we use our petroleum resources in an appropriate way, that limits the power of Putin. And I don't think the current administration realizes the way that the dominoes work.
When we come back, we talk to a Democratic state senator on his take on what this now means for his party and their supporters. He also talks about the Bahamas and where we fall in the grand scheme of things. The Rundown, live from Washington, D.C. Back after this.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janaes.com.
Let's go. At Frame Studio, as soon as you enter the door, we showcase any individual that comes in there and make it feel like they are at home. The space itself is 1,800 square foot. Our side wall, which is industry standard also, is 24 feet wide. You can do anything that you can possibly think of. At Frame Studio, under our theme, Now Create More, we look at Frame Studio as a canvas. And any artist knows a canvas is blank, and then you create whatever you want to do, right? So we have where you could rent tools. We even have workstations that people could rent out. To anyone inspiring to do what I've done, or what my colleagues have done, or any other journey, I would say to you, don't be afraid. The worst someone can actually tell you is no. So if you have a vision, you have an idea, not everyone will get it. But if you believe in your vision, you believe in your idea, I say go wholeheartedly at it.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
By giving unconditionally, not expecting anything in return, I thought was a wonderful way of showing this love and And I believe that it is love that truly draws people. And so I saw we could cover a lot more people by feeding. Volunteers, you know, they have truly been sold.
My passion is to help, and I thank God for what I can do through the help of Bahamas Feeding Network.
47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
One of the signs of inauguration is, of course, that democracy is in full effect. Here in the United States, that's on display, and many officials and government leaders are hoping that people understand that that's just the way democracy works. I'm joined now with State Senator for South Carolina, Kent Williams, who, of course, is Democrat. And so not a lot of them you're going to see around here, but nonetheless, they're participating in this historic event because of what it represents for America. Sir, welcome to the Rundown, and great to have you here with us today.
Thank you. It's great to be with you.
So obviously, President Trump will now become president. And of course, there's a bit of mixed emotions by so many people, particularly on the Democrat side, your side. What do you think this represents for America?
It represents America. You know, this is the epitome of democracy. This is what democracy is about. And the people have spoken. Regardless of what side of the political party you might be on, whether you're Democrat, whether you're Republican, Independent, Libertarian, it does not matter. The people have spoken, and we respect democracy. And so, you know, there's only one president. And that's President-elect Donald Trump, who will be sworn in on Monday. And and I respect that. I've attended many inaugurations, Republican, Democrats alike. It's a new day, and I just want what's best for the American people. And hopefully Donald Trump will be able to deliver that. And the only way he can do that, we have to unite and work out our differences and find that common ground. That's what it's all about. That's, you know, where we can work together and move the policy and so forth agenda forward to improve the quality of life of Americans. That's what it boils down to, in my opinion.
What do you think caused Democrats not to get the kind of support they wanted and to choose Trump? While you may hear so many people talk about his radicalism or his extremism, people said still at the end of the day it was a better choice. Do you think the Democrat Party understands that there are still concerns that the quality of life has deteriorated?
Well, they must understand. The people have spoken loud and clear. And they've been saying this for quite some time, not just during the election process. You know, as any election, and especially presidential election, it's one issue. It boils down to mainly one issue. It's a pocketbook issue. People vote their pocketbook. If people are hurting, people won't change. You know, if the economy is flourishing, people are working, they can pay their bill, inflation is low and so forth, I mean, hey, they could care less who's in the White House. But when people are suffering and hurting and they can't pay their bills and meet their obligation, educate their children, pay the mortgage, you know, have health care access and so forth, it makes a difference, and people will cry out, and that's what has happened. But look, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a Democrat, Democrat, been a Democrat all my life, but I was reelected. You know, I was reelected. Unfortunately, you know, 4 of my colleagues got defeated in this past general election, you know. I think what we have to do, we have to listen to the people. We have to listen to the people and what they say the issues are and what we need to be focused on and what we need to be doing. And when you ignore the people, there are consequences. And so, you know, we have to listen to the people, and we have to do right about the people, and we got to represent these people. And it's about, there again, it's all about the pocketbook. Always has been, always will be.
One of the issues that people believe helped to determine this election for Donald Trump was, of course, the border. And yesterday, during the Senate confirmation hearing for the Homeland Secretary, the big issue was, can America secure its border to the north? Can it secure its border to the south? The issue of migration and the fact that they've said that Democrats have just made it a free-for-all for immigrants. Do you believe there's going to be a renaissance in being able to crack down on illegal migration and securing the borders?
Well, listen, I don't know that there will be a renaissance. We're hearing that it will be. You know, time will tell. But I can tell you that was a major issue. And people kept talking about we got to do a better job securing our borders. And listen, America is no more than a melting pot of the world. We're all immigrants when you get right down to it. But the thing it is, there's a process in which you, as an individual wanting to come to America, you go through the process. And it's not that people don't want people to migrate to America, but they want them to go through the process. They want to know who's coming to this country. There needs to be a paper trail. We need to know who's coming to this country. People need to be vetted. You know, safety is the #1 issue. We got to make sure we keep our Americans safe and so forth. And so it's an issue. And it has been an issue for quite some time. And, you know, I hope and trust that they will get a better handle on our borders, because it's kind of been a free fall.
Countries like ours in the Bahamas are watching and waiting. We're the closest neighbor to America. There's already been a letter of request for Bahamas to take immigrants from Haiti and so forth. It's something the Bahamas has pushed back on because of our own challenge with migration. How do you see countries like the Bahamas faring under a Trump presidency, particularly with this ask and its vulnerability for our country?
Well, you know, it remains to be seen. I mean, you know, I don't want to try to second guess the Trump administration and what will happen, but I think as a nation, every nation, especially that borders America, I mean, gotta have to take responsibility, you know, in controlling our borders and vetting people and so forth. So, I mean, I don't think we can do it alone. So I think we just have to, there has to be that conversation.
Do you think the Bahamas should participate in receiving these refugees from America?
Well, you know, I mean, what I would say is that remains to be seen. That's a decision that the leadership in the Bahamas has to make. I don't know what the fallout would be on that.
How are the people in South Carolina feeling as we head into another presidency, 47th president?
Well, they're feeling great because it was a mandate from South Carolinians helping to elect Donald Trump to the presidency. So, you know, they're feeling great. People feeling good. I mean, not everybody, obviously, but I would say the majority is feeling really well and excited and think there's hope again for America, and they think Donald Trump can turn it around and make America great again. I hope he can. I hope he can. But listen, nothing happens overnight, okay? And nothing is black and white. It's not cut and dry. It's not that simple. And it's a process. And it's a pretty encompassing process. So, you know, listen, I want him to be successful. If he's successful, America is successful. And so we just have to see what happens, what unfolds.
I've got to get the last question in here, of course, and that is, have you been to the Bahamas, and how do you see Bahamas when it comes to a tourist destination?
Oh, I've been to the Bahamas. My good friend Debbie Bartlett, who I know very well, have invited me there. I've been a guest speaker there at her business conference there. I love the Bahamas, and I think the Bahamas is a great place and doing well, and I think it will only get better. So, you know, we love the Bahamians.
You know, as we say, it is better in the Bahamas.
It is better. Well, yeah.
You can't say that. I can say that.
I can say that.
Thank you.
I can say it's better in America. But, hey.
Well, you know, Dr. Miles Monoccoing did. The Bahamas is where God lives. Thank you, sir, for talking with us. You know, well, that's a good answer. Good comeback. Good comeback. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
The rundown back after this. Stay close.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low fiber, high fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer by making specific lifestyle changes. Eat a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These foods contain fiber, minerals, vitamins, and antioxidants, which may play a role in cancer prevention. Drink alcohol in moderation or not at all. Do not smoke. Exercise with a goal of getting in at least 30 minutes each day. If you've been inactive, start slowly and gradually build up to 30 minutes. Also, talk to your doctor before starting any exercise program. Maintain a healthy weight. If you're at a healthy weight, maintain it by combining a well-balanced diet with daily exercise. If you need to lose weight, ask your doctor about healthy ways to achieve your goal. Colon cancer screening can also help to prevent colon cancer or lead to its early detection when treatment is most effective. If you're 45 years or older, speak to your doctor about having a colonoscopy or some form of colon cancer screening that may be appropriate for you. I'm Dr. Eugene Marcus Cooper. Pay attention to your health. Get the facts and discuss colon cancer with your physician today.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' coverage of the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
Welcome back. Media mogul Armstrong Williams has worked with the Republican Party in a number of capacities over the years. He believes President Trump is exactly what the country needs, and the fact that he is in office bodes well for countries like the Bahamas.
Let's just start by talking, obviously, this is a significant shift for the United States of America with Trump coming back into his presidency. You're optimistic about his leadership. Tell us why.
Well, listen, without hope, all is lost. I mean, just think about the beginning of January in our country. We selected a new Speaker of the House. We certified the elections. We have the fires in California. We had the terrorist attack at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. We have the death of Jimmy Carter and his state funeral. I mean, those are the kinds of things that happen throughout the year, but they happen literally within the first week of the new year. And what does that tell us? Does that bode well with what we should expect for the remainder of the year? And so in all that, we must find hope. You know, Donald Trump is more popular than he's ever been as a politician and as a president. Even people who did not vote for him, even though he won popular and electoral vote, in recent polls feel that he's the man for the times. Another thing I didn't mention, there's a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. And I know behind the scenes they're negotiating the same for Ukraine and Russia. And when Donald Trump was president in 2016, there were no foreign wars. We did not have the crisis on the border. We did not have juvenile crime out of control. We did not have illegals killing innocent Americans at will. We did not have people being burned on the subway. We did not have these things. Law and order is important. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is a panacea for all these things, but Donald Trump did not win because of necessarily his message, even though people knew what they were getting. Donald Trump was a repudiation of the last 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And so there's such high expectations for him. And so he has to deliver for the people, because if not, they will lose the House in 2 years. And so that is why he's had such a sense of urgency of building his cabinet, building his administration, so he can literally hit the ground running when he's sworn in. And so we just hold out hope that Donald Trump, because of the fact that he was president before and he's president now, can bring stability back to this country, can bring back economic stability for those that feel as though they've lost their financial standing in this country. And so that's what it is. And so in that, because he's our leader and because that is what the American people decided last year in November, I respect the will of the people.
I want to bring it home to the local front countries like the Bahamas, who are waiting to see how his presidency will impact countries like the Bahamas. Already there's been an ask for Bahamas to take refugees that he would deport, and the Bahamas has said, well, we can't, we struggle with the same issue. What do we do? There's a certain level of perhaps even anxiety among countries around the world, like the Bahamas, as to whether they will be negatively impacted because his message is so strongly America first. What do you say to nations like the Bahamas?
You know, what people say during a campaign and before they become president is really meaningless. You have to govern. You know, it's not only about the interests of America, it's about what is in the best interest of the Bahamian people. And the Bahamas and America has a very important strategic relationship. If America had not neglected the Bahamas for so long, the Chinese would not be there. You would not have the issues of drug interdiction there. It's part of America's neglect. And the Biden administration used it as a stepchild. I mean, just think about this. Within the last 12 years, you've not had an ambassador. And already, one of the first things that Donald Trump did while he was appointing all these critical people to these critical positions, he named Herschel Walker as his ambassador to the Bahamas. That is a sign that the Bahamas are a very strategic partner, and that through his ambassador, Herschel Walker, the trajectory must change. Instead of focusing on the tea leaves of the negativity in the press, of what he says about immigration, you're going to look at the total picture and say, for the first time, this ambassador will be confirmed. You've got an ambassador. That shows respect. It shows you that the importance. Work with this new ambassador and build a better relationship between the two countries.
Hi, I'm Kizzy Hanna, and I am the CEO of Nail Envy Salon Studio and Nail Envy Academy. My business offers education for beginner level, intermediate, and advanced level nail classes for those persons who would like to become nail technicians and continue that education for those persons that are in the professional atmosphere already. So our curriculum has already been vetted and approved by the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas. What distinguishes Nail Envy Academy from the competitors, we are really focused on relaying our information in a proper and conducive environment, making sure that our students are getting that one-on-one attention that is needed to be able to send them out into the field and be able to be successful in their occupation. I am so passionate about what I do because I want young women to know that not everyone has to have tertiary education. You can throw your whole self at something and bring a difference to your industry.
For more information about the Creative Entrepreneurs Initiative and the Crafting the Bahamas workshops, email info@sbdcbahamas.com or call us at 461-7232.
There are over 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor, just waiting to be found. Nothing is truly ever lost at sea, only hidden by time and sand. When I put this fleet together, it wasn't just for fun. And although we do have fun, we never lose sight of our goal. Right here, right now, we are on a mission.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' coverage of the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
And despite who leads America, Bahamians will continue to soar. Our Devontae Hanna spoke with a Bahamian doing some big things right here in Washington, D.C.
Born and raised in the Bahamas, Kival Hanna developed a deep appreciation for community collaboration early in life. Her passion for social impact and economic development propelled her to a distinguished career that spans continents and sectors.
I wanted to do things that helped, one, build trust, build accountability, but also build our resilience. And so my career started at the World Bank, where I worked hand in hand with 20 plus countries, governments, advisors, business to really think about how do you make development actually sustainable and meaningful for all.
Now at Edelman, a global communications firm, she holds the position of Senior Vice President responsible for social impact and sustainability. Causes, she says, are near to her heart.
Essentially, working with CEOs and leaders to really help them define what their role in society is as a business. And so everything I do is connected to communication. Communication is the backbone of what I do, but really it's about listening, problem solving, and thinking forward, and thinking in a really smart, effective, and collaborative way.
Her journey from a small island community to where she now stands underscores the power of dedication and vision, which she says she owes all to her family.
When I think about my greatest accomplishments, I would say taking the resources, the talent, the time of my parents and my grandparents who really poured into me all of their treasures and said, go look for me, go look for me. You can do anything, you're highly favored. And so for me, my greatest accomplishments is taking all what they've given to me and giving it back.
Being so far away from home, here's how she keeps herself grounded.
For me, balancing the demands of this job with my own Bahamian culture and roots is, for me, a sign of resilience, of my resilience, and I draw on the strength of my people.
Bahamians also excited this past week to have participated in volunteering for the inauguration. Right after we landed in Washington, D.C., our Devontae Hanna caught up with Carolyn Hanna.
I am here for the inauguration of President Trump. I was here for his first inauguration in 2017, and now I'm here for the second one. That's why I'm here.
I understand you have a special role. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, I'm a volunteer for President Trump for the inauguration events. So I came in today so that we'd be able to receive our passes and our tickets and get our assignments, and we're ready to go.
Now, I know it's going to be pretty cold on inauguration day. They say that it's going to be the coldest since President Reagan. How are you preparing for that? Obviously, we're not from this type of climate.
Well, I have much coats because, as I said, I was here for the first one. And it was very cold then. But I go to Canada quite a bit because that's where my children are, some of them. And so I'm quite prepared for the cold. I have 2 coats, and trust you me, they can take care of me from now until I'm ready to leave.
Now, I know that obviously Bahamians may not get involved in American politics to this extent. What does it mean for you, and what was the inspiration to really apply to become a volunteer?
Well, the thing is, in 2016, I'm a believer, first of all. And in 2016, when Mr. Trump came down the stairs, the Holy Spirit told me, pray for him. And I have prayed for him ever since. And I believe it's as a result of my obedience. Why? Number one, I was at the first inauguration. We went to the Victory Ball and everything and didn't have passes. And so this time, it's just a continuation. I've continued to pray for President Trump. I don't get caught up in the naysayers. I listen to what that inner being says to me, and I know that I'm on the right track. I knew he was going to win, and so we were preparing for this even before the elections in 2024.
What makes you such a big Trump lover?
Well, like I said before, he's a Republican, and I have supported the Republican Party for any number of years. I've done that. I've written to presidents and given them words and all that sort of thing, but I've never been as involved with any as with President Trump, because I think he needs someone that's in the back of him, just lifting him up in prayer, regardless of what people say. Some may be true, some may not be true, but that's not what I'm all about. I'm about being obedient to what is being said in my spirit. And as a result of that, I've seen God work in a marvelous, miraculous way.
All right, what are you most excited to see and hear from him over the next 4 years?
I'm excited to hear him fulfill all the promises that he's made. Maybe not all of them, but at least 90% of the promises he's made to the American people, because I have lots of relatives in the United States of America, and maybe one day I'll become a citizen, who knows?
Wow. And how many of you are volunteering?
It's at least 3 or 4 of us.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and thank you for the first interview.
That's all.
Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters is staying the course despite her party losing the general elections and the House and also the Senate. As a friend of the Bahamas, she believes that our goodwill between our two nations will continue, but we should take a stand. She appeared on the Rundown on Monday night.
We have a Caribbean caucus that's made up mostly of Black Caucus members who care a lot about the Caribbean. And we're there to do everything that we can to ensure that we have a strong relationship and that we're listening to our neighbors and their concerns and working together with not only the Bahamas but the other island states of the Caribbean. I consider that we have a great relationship with the Bahamas, and there's no reason why that should change. As you know, again, we have a Caribbean caucus. That Caribbean caucus is all about doing everything that we can to have a great and strong relationship with all of the Caribbean and to deal with climate change and to deal with trade and to deal with issues that not only are issues that are good for the United States, but good for the Bahamas and good for the Caribbean. Some of us feel very strongly about that, and we will continue to work toward that end, and I see no reason why that should be interfered with.
President Trump has named Herschel Walker as the ambassador designate to the Bahamas for the United States. Your thoughts on that pick?
Well, as you know, there are those of us who disagree with many of his nominations, not only, to the Bahamas, but in our domestic efforts that we have to be involved in all over the United States, whether it is Secretary of State, whether it's head of the SEC, on and on and on. And so because we are Democrats, and because they are Republicans, and because he is, very conservative and has a different idea about who he thinks can do a great job, we take a look at those nominees. We take a look at how they have defined themselves, the work that they have done, the way that they have conducted themselves, and whether or not they are to be trusted. And I have to tell you that the nominee for the Bahamas is not one that I support. And of course, there are those who would have questions about the way that he's conducted himself when he ran for office and his background. And so there's a difference of opinion, and that is well known. And I am very interested in the Bahamas getting the best representation that we could possibly provide, and the relationships are protected. And so I'm worried a bit. And he's the president. He gets a chance to make these nominations. They get a chance to be approved or disapproved at the Senate. And of course, there will be those of us who will be raising our voices in disapproval of this nominee to the Bahamas.
One thing's for sure, we're not alone in the way forward. There are friends who want to see the Bahamas win. Congresswoman Maxine Waters is one of them. And according to our ambassador to the United States of America, Wendell Jones, the history of our two nations serve as a reminder that all is well.
We're going to fare very well, Clint, because we have seen many changes in administrations in the United States over the many years. I'm sure within the course of your life, you've seen Republicans and Democrats. We go back to I go back to the Eisenhower days, I guess, and then there's Kennedy, who was a Democrat, Nixon a Republican, and they've been seesawing like that for the last 50, 60 years. And so I don't think that you would see any significant changes in policies of the government towards the United States or the United States towards the government of the Bahamas. We have enjoyed very strong, friendly relations for all of the years that we have been an independent country. And nothing is going to change. Donald Trump has been president before, and the Bahamas fared well when he was president the first time, and so now that he's the 47th president, I'm sure things are going to be pretty much the same.
One of the first things he announced, the president today, is that he's writing orders, direct orders, to reverse America's involvement in climate change and the climate change agreement. That is something the Bahamas is depending heavily on because of our vulnerability.
Absolutely.
That's a policy that no doubt will impact us.
Absolutely.
Your response to that?
Well, I'm sure that our Prime Minister and our government would try to find a way to get to the Trump administration and to show them our point of view, the extent to which our country has been damaged by fierce hurricanes. And I believe that talking about common sense, I believe that common sense would prevail. The science is clear, and I believe that the entire Caribbean, led by people like our Prime Minister and Mayor Motley, they are going to continue to agitate for the American government to review the policy with respect to climate change, and hopefully we can get them to see our point of view, because our waters are getting warmer. We are losing our reefs.
The waters are reclaiming the land.
Our fishermen are having great difficulty because our reefs are dying because of climate change. We have coastal erosion, and we have heavier rains. We have our water tables are affected as a result of it. And so most Bahamians now know, having been educated by the present government, that climate change is injurious to their lifestyle. We have seen the depopulation of some of our islands as a result. The farmers in Long Island, they do not have the kind of harvest that they used to have. Their mutton production is lower because sheep drowned in Long Island as a result of hurricanes.
I remember I remember Tropical Storm Noel devastating to Long Island.
Absolutely, and we know what happened in Dorian, how it impacted the Abacos and Grand Bahama.
And so, Joaquin, even your home island.
Absolutely. And so we have to stay the course on the issue of climate change.
One of the issues that people are concerned about, particularly in the Bahamas, is, of course, the pronouncement by then President-elect Trump that indeed the first target is, of course, on reforming immigration. And one of the things that was said is that he sent a letter of communication by America to the Bahamas that, listen, we need you to be able to take some of these refugees, particularly because of the state of Haiti. We responded, our government responded saying, no, we're not going to do that. Many, though, believe as the United States pressures hard enough, particularly with things that we enjoy benefiting in the region, free clearance and all these other things, if they press hard enough, we won't have a choice in the matter.
While we have a wonderful relationship with the United States, we have had governments in the Bahamas, administrations, I should say. The Pindling administration that stood up to policies of the United States for the benefit of the Bahamas. The Prime Minister, Brave Davis, stood up to the administration in the United States with respect to migration in the Bahamas. They want us to take migrants in our country. Well, the Prime Minister said no. He refused to sign. And so we should have a grateful Bahamian population that Prime Minister Philip Davis was able to be strong enough to stand to that pressure. We have been building the United States. The Bahamas has. We spend a tremendous amount of money in this economy. You know, I go back to the contract days when we had contract workers, people on the project and the contract. They went back home. That is how Angliston and Coconut Grove and places like that, they were built because we had our people who came to the United States, worked on their farms, saved their money, went back to Nassau, bought land in Angliston and other places such, built the Bahamas. I said earlier on, Bahamians really love home.
Yes.
All right? They enjoy coming to the United States. They are beneficiaries of the economy of the United States, but they go back home. But we are not going to take migrants from other parts of the world because the United States decides or demands that we take those migrants.
We're not a dumping ground.
We are not a dumping ground.
In the final few minutes we have, what do you want the Bahamian people to know, particularly about your office and what you're doing here for the Bahamas in the few 5 minutes that we have?
Well, only 5 minutes. I can take a half hour to do that. But we are doing some wonderful things here in the United States. For the first time, I staged a business and investment forum in Washington, D.C. last September, where we had many of our professionals and cabinet ministers who came up here, and we are selling the Bahamas, investments in the Bahamas. We are doing this again in May of this year in New York City.
Wow.
It's going to be bigger and better, and so we are spreading the word that the best location for investments for Americans is right in the Bahamas. In addition to that, we are bringing the diaspora together. We have done 20 episodes. As a journalist, I decided that we need Bahamians in the Bahamas to know what our people are doing in the United States. And so whether people are scientists or they are in law, you know, Clint, we have people in the United States, Bahamians, who are judges in courts.
Really?
In New York,
wow,
in Florida. We need Bahamians to know what they are doing.
You gotta tell the
we have a
stories.
young man who is in charge of the Palm Beach Police Force.
Correct.
A Bahamian.
Correct. Yes.
We have a man who is an engineer for NASA, a Bahamian. And so we have what we call conversations with the diaspora, with the Bahamian diaspora.
Awesome.
And we have done 20 of those programs. So we are bringing them together so that Bahamians in the Bahamas would know exactly what our citizens are doing in the United States and how they are promoting Bahamas in the United States in whatever they do.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Make your company representative stand out through an embroidery design on your uniforms from Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Janae's utilizes the latest state-of-the-art embroidery technology to monogram large and small quantities of shirts, caps, bags, and other articles. If you don't already have a digitized logo, Janae's can design and digitize your idea and bring it to life. Then install the logo of your choice from their large selections of 27 stock colors of golf shirts in cotton or dry fit, caps, or workwear. Call 394-8385 or 6 or visit www.janae's.com.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' coverage of the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
And that's our final show for Washington, D.C. We certainly hope you enjoyed the past 3 days as we talked about how the Bahamas could be impacted by its largest trading partner and, of course, our closest neighbor. We continue to watch and see how the story unfolds and how the Bahamas maneuvers with the 47th president. From Washington, D.C., from the entire team, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for watching The Rundown. Have a great night.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' coverage of the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States of America is proudly brought to you by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Tourism, Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, Rocky Farms Nursery, J.S. Johnson Insurance, Janae's Fashions, Baja Retreat, and the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center of the Bahamas.
From this moment on, America's decline is over. I was saved by God to make America great again. For American citizens, January 20th, 2025 is Liberation Day. We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God. Can't do that.
Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.
You and Your Money is brought to you by FOCAL, Central Bank of the Bahamas, and Leno. At the recently held 34th Annual Bahamas Business Outlook, the theme